How are we doing, guys? Moose here, Season 1, Episode 21 of our West Ham United Career Mode. And as you can see, we're going to go through sort of a roundup of how the season went just to finish things out here. As you can see, I actually got the United States offer as I was simming through the month of May that we had completed. So I actually took that just to be able to play the World Cup with the United States. And that will probably be the next episode just to start things off. I'll probably do it all in one episode. I'll just show the World Cup. I'll probably play the games, and as soon as the World Cup's over, I'll share the highlights of each game we play with the United States and let you know who wins the tournament, as we're pretty much going to focus on West Ham here, but it's nice to just throw that in. Also, because the World Cup is really weird, I was checking out the tables. As you can see in the bottom right there, we drew Italy, Poland, and the Ivory Coast in our group, but I'm pretty sure Wales made the World Cup, and England actually didn't in the qualifying stages, so a little bit ridiculous. I want to get the World Cup game, and maybe I'll play a World Cup playthrough with the United States in that as well. But in this particularly, I'll play it still and just let you know how it goes. But that said, we're going to review the team here as we go through the season, how everything went. So we're going to first take a look at all the tables throughout the world, as well as the results of different things. You know, the different, not the World Cup, but the leagues and sort of things, the FA Cup, see who won all that. As you can take a look at the league, we already went through. United win that. Chelsea, City, and Liverpool in the Champions League places. Arsenal, Everton, West Ham, ourselves will be in the Euro League. And then Hull, Sunderland, Cardiff relegated. We'll also check out the table to see who will be coming up to the Premier League for next season. We continue to cycle through here. The FA Cup, Manchester City come through with a victory over Arsenal in the FA Cup. So obviously Arsenal couldn't pull it out like they did in real life. Disappointing for them. But City with a trophy there. Capital One Cup, obviously we took home that championship over Swansea City with a nice 2-0 victory. Really good in that. We go through the Champions League. Real Madrid with a 2-1 victory over Borussia Dortmund. So Real Madrid picking up La Decima. Obviously want to do that as well for themselves in real life against Atletico Madrid coming up here tomorrow, actually. So pretty exciting for that. The EuroLeague, Galatasaray defeats Spurs. Tottenham could have brought home a EuroLeague championship, but were unable to as Galatasaray pick up a 1-0 victory there. And we're back to the World Cup. So now we'll take a look at the tables from around the leagues just to take a look at who won everything as well as who will be coming up in England. So we'll cycle through that here. You can obviously pause if you want to take a look at some of the smaller leagues and see who did what. But we're just going to get to the main leagues and check out who won that. Copenhagen obviously winning the Denmark League. In the championship, we'll have Wigan and QPR coming up with automatic promotion, and then Reading, Leicester, Bolton, and Brighton were in the playoffs, so we'll see who came through with that. So we could be having the three teams that went down the previous season coming right back up, Wigan, QPR, and Reading, but we'll have to see how that played out in terms of the playoff. PSG winning League One. Monaco actually finishing in 6th, so a little bit interesting there. They brought in all those players and still finish in 6th, so tough for them. But obviously PSG comfortably win the French League, League One. Bundesliga, Bayern and Dortmund actually level on points, but Bayern winning the league on goal differential, so that's pretty wild. Obviously would have made for a crazy last day of the season. Italy, Roma actually bringing home the Scudetto with a 5-point victory over Juventus, so pretty wild there for Roma. Obviously we took Michael Bradley from there. Could have been a title for him, but that's how he's going to look to build on his career with West Ham United. So good for Roma, though, in Serie A. Take a look through as we move further. Feyenoord winning the Eredivisie in the Netherlands. Also, you got the Polish League. Portugal, Benfica with a single-point victory over Sporting, and then Porto just 2 points behind Sporting. So a couple of really tight finishes in a few of these leagues. Obviously, the Irish League. We have Dynamo Moscow winning the Russian League over Zenit. Really, not really a tight battle there. Scotland Celtic obviously winning it easily. Wish I would have put Rangers in here just to see how they would have done in terms of competing. Wish I would have moved them back into the Scottish League. Barcelona beating out Real Madrid by a single point for the La Liga title. Atletico Madrid in 3rd, so a good season out of them as well. And we'll see them in the Champions League next year again. The Swiss League, Basel coming through, and also MLS. So that's a look at the leagues around the world, and now we're just going to take a look at how our team performed throughout the season. We're just going to get a little bit of a squad report just to finish out the season and take a look at everybody's stats. We're actually not going to look at how they've progressed per much as actually their actual stats and discuss that, just to take a look at that and get the season over. So Adrian, obviously gone up 4 in his overall. He's just been fantastic for us. What a bring-in. He's a starting keeper. No question about that, as we'll go through by position here. 15 clean sheets and 43 appearances, 13 in the Premier League. He actually was the Premier League's top goaltender, so fantastic for him. He's definitely going to be our starting keeper as we go forward. UC Askelainen, obviously, his contract will be expiring. We'll let him move on, see if we want Henderson as our backup or even bring in a new keeper on the cheap next year, depending on status of that. So obviously Spiegel, Henderson as well. Guy Demel here. Really great season, but also he brought in Trippier just as a man for the future. But Demel, actually, if he stays at a similar overall, we might be able to use him as sort of a backup. Obviously, a goal and 6 assists, 5 Premier League assists from the right back position is just fantastic, and he played really well. Trippier played great as he came in, couple of assists, really played really well for us, and he's got a good future. Spence, we actually offered him a new contract. He'll be staying with the club. Now we get to Winston Reed. He's gone up 3, 13 clean sheets. He picked up 1 headed goal in 41 appearances for us. But the big issue for him is he's actually asked for a new contract as I simmed through May. And I gave him his wages. He rejected it. I improved the wage offer by $5,000. He's currently at 25. He wanted 35. I upped it to 40, and he's actually rejected that as well. So we'll see what goes on in the next transfer window. We might be looking for a new center back partner with James Tompkins. So maybe something like a Fabian Schär or someone to bring in of that nature from center back. Look to see what you guys say once we get into the new season, discuss transfer targets. Collins, obviously, he's unhappy he's not playing, but he's good someone to have his cover in the back. So Collins had a good season. Chambers, obviously, one for the future. Same with Lascelles. We're hoping to send him out on loan next season. We couldn't get him out on loan, so he made a couple appearances for us. But hopefully we can loan him out in the next season. O'Brien, good left back. We're looking to bring in a left back for next season, but O'Brien's played really well. And I think Raz Van Rat's actually retiring at the end of this season. So O'Brien will definitely be our left back cover, and he can play a couple of different positions too, so that's good to have him in the squad. Raz Van Rat obviously recently arrived, but I'm pretty sure it had said that he was going to retire when his contract expires, so I can't see when his contract expires, but I think it might be at the end of the season. Obviously, he played really well for us, but then his stats started declining and actually started to favor O'Brien over him. McCartney will be letting him go. His contract's going to expire, and he really hasn't offered much to the team, so we have Moncur DR, who's transferless. I want to get him out next season. He just, I never liked playing with him. He's not really offered much, and he's aged out. So we'll see if we can get rid of him. Downing's had a fantastic season. I really wasn't too impressed with him to start the year. Obviously, his rating's only 6.3, 6.1 in 25 Premier League games. But I thought he actually played really well towards the end of the season and really fit into that new playing style structure that we had been working with. So Downing looks to improve again in the year. Vastay's contract's expiring in a month. Leave in the comments. Let me know if you think I should re-sign him. Obviously, he was our hero in the playoff year that West Ham came back up in. But that said, he hasn't really offered much to the club this season. He's been sort of a rotation player, and he kind of wants a bigger role than I'm going to be able to give him. So let me know if you think I should keep him around. Obviously, he's not a bad depth player, but that said, we'll see how much he can actually break into the team. So let me know in the comments what you think I should do. Obviously, Turgot's on loan. Bradley's just been sensational since we brought him in. Look at the ratings. 7.6 average. He's just been unreal form for us in the Premier League. He's played really well. Still looking for his first goal with the club. Obviously, had a sensational shot stopped by Pantilimon from Manchester City in the last game. But Bradley's definitely going to be our CDM for the future. Noble's been fantastic. He's had an unbelievable year. Obviously, he was Hammer of the Year in real life, and realistically, he could have a chance at Hammer of the Year for this club. Obviously, you're probably going to give it to Carroll with his 19 odd goals that he had in the season. But Noble's just been so calm, so steadying in the center of the park. Played 32 games. Picked up a few yellow cards while he missed a couple of games there. He also had a few games out with injury, but 5 goals, 6 assists in the entire season. He just played really, really well. Unbelievable. Happy to have him in the squad. Diame, with the addition of Bradley, sort of developed into a bit of a squad player, but that said, whenever he comes in, he always does the job. He's done fantastic for us. I hope he doesn't want to leave because of his role, but that said, he's a really good player. Love having him in the team. Leggett, another guy we're looking out to loan. Collison, I love Collison. He just got released today in real life by West Ham, but he's one of my favorite players for the club, and he actually plays really well in FIFA. I like playing with him. He's sort of lost his value with Bradley coming in, just been bumped down the depth chart, but that said, we're going to keep Collison around because he's a really good hammer. Love bringing him up and having him in the team. Jarvis, probably one of the biggest surprises of the season, another candidate for Hammer of the Year. 8 goals in the Premier League. His addition of goal-scoring ability to his play in terms on the wing has just been fantastic. So 9 goals, 11 assists, just fantastic. Love having him in the team. We might have to fend off a few offers for him next season, but we'll see how that all goes. Obviously, Ravel Morrison, 10 goals, 11 assists, best young player in the Premier League, I think. Would win the best young player if they awarded that. in this game. He's just fantastic. 10 goals in the Premier League for a 21-year-old is just unbelievable, especially for midfield, not even playing as a striker. Really good. Love to have him in the team. Give him whatever he wants in terms of a contract. I know he signed a new contract a little bit ago, so love having him in the team. Joe Cole will be letting him go. Great hammer, great West Ham player, but not going to fit in the team, especially if he wants $40,000 a week on wages. Nolan, with Grenier coming in next year to play that cam position, he's going to be bumped down. He's already kind of fiending for playing time as it is right now, but he's played well for us, picked up 4 goals in limited time. He seemed to come on as a substitute a lot in the second half of the year, but love having Kevin Nolan in the team. Obviously, he's a leader in men, so great player to have on the team. Lacazette finally started to find his form in the Premier League in the last few games. He scored a couple of crackers. Obviously, that finesse shot against Crystal Palace might have been the best of them all. But 6 goals in 17 appearances for us, and he played really well. Worked well with Carroll, so hopefully we'll carry that into the new year. And obviously Andy Carroll, 19 goals in only 24 appearances. He had 15 goals in the Premier League, which was unbelievable. What a return from him. Obviously, he missed a lot of time in the middle of the season with a leg injury, but when he was in there, he was fantastic. Carlton Cole, he wants to be transferred. He actually scored 6 goals in 16 appearances, which is really good, but his stats are declining. He's unhappy that, Lacazette's come in, Carroll's come in, and he's not playing at all. So Carlton Cole actually wants to leave on his way out, so we'll see what happens there. Whitehead, a guy we're looking to loan. Elliot Lee, his contract's expiring, but he's 19, so he might be automatically re-signed by the game. I can't recall. That's he's actually improved a bit, so we could keep him in the team. McCallum, another guy we could afford to get rid of. And Maiga, definitely, we might loan him out. He really didn't impress me at all. He's played terrible for the team. Not a great player, I don't think. Doesn't really rate him in the Premier League, but that's it. We might keep him in for squad depth, maybe loan him out just to see if he can find his form somewhere else, either in the Premier League in the Championship somewhere. So we'll probably list him for loan or a transfer next year and see where we go from there. So that's a look at the club. Obviously, we looked at the leagues around the world. We're going to finish out the season here, get into the rest of the transfers, the transfer dealings, what we want to do, and actually, we'll make it a long episode. I'm just going to really quickly go through my transfer list. Also, we're going to go through it more in depth in terms of players once we start the new season. But just as an idea for what I think we need to bring in next season, let me know what you guys think we should do in terms of bringing in towards next season. Definitely maybe a center back depending on Winston Reed. So we have Fabian Schär and John Anthony Brooks, who we actually looked at last year. He's a great player, 76 overall at this point, only 21 years of age. He'd be huge to bring in if we do lose Winston Reed. McEachran, we had looked at him in exchange for in lieu of Bradley, but we went with Bradley, so probably not what we're looking for. Schmeichel, potentially, if Leicester doesn't come up as a backup goalkeeper with the loss of Jääskeläinen, maybe we'll move Henderson on, or maybe try even a swap, as I really rate Schmeichel. I think he's a really good goalkeeper, the best in the Championship even. Left back is where we definitely need to improve. Obviously, our top player right now at that position is Joey O'Brien, so definitely somewhere we need to improve. Potentially Ricardo Rodriguez, Digne from PSG. Maybe not as realistic with those two players, but Butner from United, potentially to leap over Evra. He's doesn't have great potential, but he's a really good player, and I rate him technically. He's got a lot of energy and a good player on the ball. Luke Shaw would be ideal to bring in. I would pay all the money in our transfer budget to bring in Luke Shaw, but that's up to you guys. Obviously, he gets picked up in a lot of career modes, and someone that I don't know if you want me to bring him in. So let me know in the comments what you think in terms of a left back. Sterling would be huge, but he's worked his way into Liverpool's starting lineup. Obviously, we don't need a right back anymore. Bring in Trippier. Carrasco would be fantastic. He's got unbelievable pace, someone we could just use as a change of pace on the wings. With that potential look. So a couple of right mids, Carrillo. Danny Ings would be huge as a striker. If we get rid of Carlton Cole and Maiga, Danny Ings would be someone to look at as our third striker behind Carroll and Lacazette, who'd be huge, an impact sub. He's got great pace, really good player, so he'd be huge. Danny Ings, I would love to bring him in. But let me know in the comments, obviously, what you guys think. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hope you've enjoyed Season 1, and looking to see what we can do in Season 2. So thanks, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Look forward to the World Cup here with the USA, and then Season 2 with the West Ham United. So can't wait to see it. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you next episode. Bye-bye, guys.